on YouTube? It's your boy Tanzer. Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing my first ever time rating your guys' teams and helping you guys improve. I've seen a lot of YouTubers do this, and a lot of you guys also requested me to do this in my live stream, so we are about to do it. If you guys are wondering how you could request for me to look at your team, all you have to do is join my Discord. The link is right here on the screen, or it will also be down below in the description. Once you join my Discord, I have a team rating section in my Discord. You guys basically just send a picture of your team and show me how much MT you have, and you could possibly be in one of my uploads. Please drop a like if you guys like this series and want to see more. But with that being said, let's get into our first team. Here's the first team we're going to be rating, guys. As you can see, he only has 800 MT. His starting lineup: Endgame Curry, Invincible Baron Davis, the free Season 8 Keith Van Horn, and Elvin Hayes, a Sim Bular. Then his bench, he has Invincible LaMelo Ball, Earl Lloyd, I forgot his name, something Clifton. I know who he is though. Nikola Jokic, and Steven Adams. Okay, so this team, obviously, this man needs a lot of help. How can we help this guy out? He only has 800 MT. LaMelo is not that bad at all. Steph Curry, the endgame card, a lot of people do hate on him, but at this point, this is the best card that he could use for his starting point guard. I'm not going to lie. The only problem is this lineup is pretty small. Besides, you know, Keith Van Horn's not that bad. Elvin Hayes, and not that good for power forward. I'm going to be honest, Keith Van Horn is probably, and Sim Bular is probably the only height that they have really on this team. For 800 MT, man, what I recommend you to do is just play the game. You know what I mean? Maybe try to sell some cards, at least get 3,000 to 4,000 MT. Then once you do that, hop on the dark matter cheapest filter, bro. At least get up to, like, you know, use that filter to make some profit, to get up to at least like 20K. Then with that being said, you could buy some cheap budget cards. I mean, just for height, what I would personally do is start LaMelo over Steph Curry. I would put Baron Davis on the bench. He is just too short. Then after that, you honestly need a whole new lineup. I mean, I think the only cards that you could keep, that I would personally keep with this whole lineup, is the LaMelo Ball and the Steph Curry. I would probably start LaMelo instead of Curry though, just because of his height. Then for your starting shooting guard, I would recommend picking up Jonathan Bender. At the moment, he's going for like 5,000 MT because the market crashed. He is 7 foot tall and he plays the shooting guard position, so I would definitely, right, just with that, man, you have LaMelo who's 6'7", and then you have a Jonathan Bender at shooting guard who's 7 foot. You're already giving your back court some height, which is perfect. At small forward, Keith Van Horn, you could probably just move him to the bench. I wouldn't start him, but as a starting small forward, you could probably try to snipe a Bol, interdimensional Bol is probably the best. Cheaper, you know, he's around 15,000, 20,000 at the moment, but he's like the best small forward that you want at the moment that's not an end game. Power forward, you could pick up like a 16-bit Porzingis. He is 7'3". He's going for around 7,000 MT, so that's not that bad. Or a power forward, you could pick up an Anderson Varejao. He's also around 7 foot and he's way cheaper than 7,000 MT, so those are some decent options I'm just giving you out right here. And then for your center position, you could pick up an Arvydas Sabonis card. He's going for around 10,000 MT. Or even at the center position, you could pick up a Dark Matter Ralph Sampson for pretty cheap, or a Dark Matter Mark Eaton. Since his Invincible just came out, his normal Dark Matter card is around 10K MT, and those cards are all over 7 feet tall. But like I said, that's what I would do first to help out your team. You could leave your bench, you know, just kind of take some of your starters at the moment, put them to your bench. And if you do basically what I said and just keep trying to snipe, then I could help you out more, but that's what I would do to at least start off to help you out. I almost forgot to rate this team. I'm probably going to have to give this team like a 3 out of 10. You know, he does have a lot of free cards, you could tell. I mean, he doesn't have much MT. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I feel like this card has to be a 3 out of 10. I feel like it suits this team. Here is the second team we're going to be rating, man. Okay, from the first look of it, we have a Cade Cunningham starting, Jonathan Bender, Alex Pokusevski, Anderson Varejao, Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, he has also 100K MT, so we have more to work with. His bench: Sean Livingston, Zach LaVine, Jonathan Isaac, Ralph Sampson, Curry, and Jokic. Okay, so this team already off the rip is better to look at. You know, definitely more of a meta team, and he has a pretty good budget cards on this team, like Poku, Jonathan Bender, Porzingis, and Varejao. They all have some pretty good height, so he definitely is doing that correct, and they're good cards to have in your lineup. I'm gonna give this card like a 6.7 out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10, you know, if I want to be generous. For 100K MT, Cade Cunningham is honestly not a bad starting point guard. I mean, if you want more height, you could pick up a Lamar Odom. I think Cade's like 6'7", Lamar Odom is 6'11", or even an out of position Jokic at point guard if you want more height. But some people are really good with Cade. If you're beating teams with this squad, guys, or if you're beating teams with your squad, you always don't necessarily need to make an upgrade. But if you did want to make an upgrade, that's probably what I would do with point guard position. Jonathan Bender Bender, I would keep, man. He is like the best budget card in the game, in my opinion, at least a top 2 card. Literally 5,000, 6,000 MT. He's 7 feet tall, the shooting guard position. I would keep him. Pokusevski and Varejao, not bad at all. Poku is like 7 feet tall, and I think Varejao is 7 foot tall as well, or 6'11". And obviously Porzingis is 7'3" at the center position. You have 100k VC, so I would probably pick up an interdimensional bull, at least put him at the small forward position for now. Or you could even move Varejao to the bench, put Porzingis at the power forward position. Then you could pick up like an encore Mark Eaton or something like that, or even the invincible Mark Eaton, put him as your starting center. He is 7'5", and the invincible Mark Eaton is really good. Or even the George Mirasan. So just like that, you get more height. Porzingis would be 7'3" at your power forward position. Then you could have a 7'7" George Mirasan or a 7'5" Mark Eaton at your center. And if you do all those things, man, you're getting a 6'11" point guard, 7'3" power forward, and a 7'5" or 7'7" center. And then Pokusevski and Bender would fit well within that team. Honestly, that team would be really good. And then for your bench, if you do that, I mean, obviously you could put Cade to your bench. For your backup shooting guard, I would probably pick up the out of position Kevin Garnett. I really love that card, and he's so freaking cheap right now. 6'11" at shooting guard, you can't beat that. Jonathan Isaac for your backup small forward, I'm not too mad at that. You know, that card could still get the job done. Great card all around. Backup power forward, I would change. We would just put your Varejao as your backup power forward, and then you could honestly keep Ralph Sampson as your backup center. So I think everything I just said wouldn't be bad at all. This team's already not looking bad, but could definitely bring it up to like an 8 out of 10, you know what I mean? But 100k MT, you could definitely make some changes, but that's what I would personally do. Next up, here is our next team we're gonna do from ISO Ty. He has currently 3,900 MT. He's rocking out of position Jokic, LaMelo Ball at shooting guard. He's got a Victor Wemby, okay, at small forward, Porzingis at power forward, and a Taco Fall endgame at center. Okay, off the rip, I'm already liking that. Anthony Black, Tracy McGrady, Big Z, Varejao, and Sabonis as his backup. Okay, so this man definitely used all of his MT to get some pretty good cards. I'm gonna have to give this team like a 7.7 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? The starting lineup, not bad at all, considering he does have Taco and Victor. Off the rip, that is really good. He does only have 4k MT, so it's kind of hard to, you know, work around this. If I was you, man, I would probably try to sell some cards, you know, get some, at least try to get up to 50k MT sniping or selling some cards to make some changes. If you wanted to make this lineup more like a meta lineup, I mean, you could put your Big Z at your shooting guard position instead of LaMelo and have LaMelo come off the bench. I see why you have your lineup like this though, because you would have too much guards off the bench, which Tracy, Anthony Black, and LaMelo, they're all really similar because they could all like play point guard, shooting guard, and they're all around 6'6", 6'7". I'm not mad with your starting small forward, power forward, and center though. You could definitely keep that and win a lot of games. I know that Porzingis is outdated, some people would say, but that card in my opinion is still good to get the job done. So you could leave those 3 cards just because, I mean, I would say you could upgrade it, but you only have 4k MT, so you could leave that for now. I love Jonathan Bender, bro, so what I personally would do is just start him in your starting lineup. Then I would put LaMelo Ball as your backup starting point guard. Probably I would sell Anthony Black. So then your bench would be LaMelo, Tracy, Big Z, and Anderson Varejao, and then Arvydas Sabonis, which is not bad at all. Like I said though, this is like a 7.7 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 at the lowest. You know, I wish I could help more, but you only have 4k MT. But like I said, man, this team could get it done. If you know how to play the game, you know the meta, you know how to play the game in unlimited online, this team could definitely beat you, man. Like, this team is not that bad. Next up, we have a solid looking team from Nanu number 5. He has 750,000 MT. He's rocking endgame Giannis, Jonathan Bender, endgame Bol, endgame KP, and endgame Yao Ming. Off the bench, endgame Ben Simmons, Tim Thomas, endgame Larry, Mo Bamba, and Big Z as his center. Okay, this team, you know, 10 out of 10. I'm not going to say that, because to me, a 10 out of 10 is like the best team in the game where you can't upgrade at all. This might be like an 8.7 out of 10, bro. You know, maybe a 9. I'm going to give it like an 8.7 out of 10. All right. Starting point guard, I like that. Giannis, top 3. You can't be mad at Giannis. I mean, him and Ben Simmons are like neck to neck. I personally would pick Ben over Giannis because he could shoot with the left. It's more fun. It could be more cheesy to play with. Endgame Jonathan Bender. I'm going to tell everybody to start Jonathan Bender unless you have endgame KD. Some people don't like how KD moves, but I personally start my endgame KD over Jonathan Bender and put Bender off the bench. But I'm fine with Bender starting, man. This starting lineup, pretty solid. The only change I could say that you could make if you want to be picky, You could put endgame Bol on the bench to replace Larry Bird. I'm not a huge fan of the endgame Larry Bird, so I would put Bol on the bench where Larry Bird is as your backup small forward. Move endgame Porzingis to your starting small forward, so that way then you have a new power forward spot open. You also have height. Then at your power forward spot, it's wide open. You could move a Yao Ming there. You do have 750k MT, bro. You could buy a Taco Fall. You could run Yao and Taco. But with that being said, I mean, you could pick up really anybody that you like is tall. I mean, the new Sean Bradley or whatever his name is, he's 7'6". He's not bad at the power forward spot. So if you do that, man, your lineup will be 6'11", 7 feet. Porzingis at the small forward is 7'2" or 7'3", I believe. And then obviously you could have a power forward and a center that is over 7'5". I mean, you could even pick up George Mirasan as your starting center, who could be 7'7", and you could have Yao Ming as your starting power forward, who is 7'5". That would be incredible. Pretty solid. Like I said, just move Bol to your backup small forward over Larry Bird. I'm not a huge fan of that. You could upgrade Mo Bamba, get some more hype, but that Mo Bamba card's not that bad. I mean, personally, I would put your Big Z as your backup power forward. I would probably get rid of Larry Bird and Mo Bamba, but if you're good with them, man, you could keep them. Overall, this team is not bad at all, man. Definitely like an 8.7 out of 10. Next up, we got a team from my boy Goon 1015. He has 100k MT. Starting lineup: LaMelo, Tracy McGrady, endgame KD, Nikola Jokic, and endgame Yao Ming. Off the bench, he's got endgame Curry, Invincible Jordan, Draymond Green. Ooh, okay. The bench starting, I was reading it off and was just getting kind of worse. Okay, but he does have 100k. We could easily make this team way better. So personally, what I would do, man, if you don't want to snipe an endgame point guard, I would pick up Lamar Odom Invincible card, man. He's going for like 50k, 60k. I think he's the best point guard Invincible to put in the game if it's not an endgame. 6'11". I personally like him over LaMelo. So I'll pick up Lamar Odom for your starting point guard position, bro. Then I would move endgame KD to your starting 2. That's what I would do. Then I would probably get rid of the Jokic power forward card. So if KD's at your starting 2, you need a new starting small forward. Or if you want to keep KD at the 3, you could do that and then pick up Jonathan Bender for your starting shooting guard position, so you still have more height there. And just with that being said, you would have Lamar Odom 6'11", Jonathan Bender 7 feet tall. Then you have KD, who is 6'11" as well. That is not bad. Or like I said, you can move KD to the 2. Then you could pick up like a Pokusevski card who's 7 feet at the small forward position, or a Bol, the interdimensional Bol, especially if you badge him out, is still really good. You can put him at the small forward position, and just like that, your starting lineup, especially your backcourt, has way more height. I would definitely get rid of the Jokic playoff card. I just feel like it's a little outdated. If like a Jokic card is not playing point guard, I feel like he's just not that great. Then for your starting power forward position, I mean, you only have 100k. I'm not going to make you spend too much. You could snipe an end game, or you could pick up like a Mark Eaton or George Mirasan. That's probably what I would do. Put him at the power forward, and you really can't be mad at that, man. You really can't be mad at that. And with that being said, your lineup would be way more tall. Off the bench, you could keep Curry there. If you're good with Curry, hey, so be it. You could keep him. I know he's small, but some people do going to work with that Curry endgame card. I'm not going to lie. But you do have LaMelo and Jordan Invincibles. I feel like they're pretty much the same card. So if you're not starting Curry, I would start one of them. If not, I would sell one of them. I don't know. I think they're unauctionable. If they're actually unauctionable, then I don't know. That's kind of unlucky. But for your backup 3, 4, and 5, all those cards need to go, man. I'm not gonna lie. Your whole bench after Jordan and Curry and LaMelo, all those cards you need to sell, man. Get your MT. For your backup 3, man, you gotta at least use a Pokusevski or like even a Jonathan Isaac Invincible. You could even play your backup 2 or the interdimensional Bol if you don't want to start him. I definitely recommend any of those cards being your backup 3 spot. For your backup 4, if you want to save some money, I would just pick up the 16-bit Porzingis. He's going for like 7k MT now. He's 7'3". He's still a pretty good card, man, especially if you add a shoe on him and badge him out. Then for your backup center, man, there's a lot of options you could do, man. Like I said, depending on what you do with your starting lineup, you could pick up George Mirasan. You could pick up Mark Eaton. I mean, even like a Ralph Sampson or the Encore Mark Eaton is better in my opinion, or even a Titans Yao Ming is better than the Elemental Dwight Howard. So that's personally what I would do. But I give this team like this is like a 6.7 out of 10, man. Maybe a 7 out of 10. Next up, we got a team from my boy Axel the Savage. He has 6,000 MT, not a lot to work with. And his lineup, let's check out his lineup. Derrick Rose, endgame Vince Carter, OG and Anunoby at small forward, Blake. Okay. This lineup is not bad if it was a few months ago. He definitely needs some upgrades, bro. Okay, so what I would do personally, I would try to snipe, get more MT. I would probably sell your whole starting lineup, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, all those cards in your starting lineup really shouldn't be starters besides maybe the end game Vince Carter. Then I would definitely make that Cade Cunningham card your point guard one. You want him to be your starting point guard because he does have height and he's definitely better than a Derrick Rose card. So with your backcourt being Cade Cunningham and Vince Carter end game, that's decent, bro. That is decent. For your starting small forward, I would probably definitely pick up the Alex Pokusevski card. He is, you know, like 6K, 5K. That's the cheapest card that you could do. Or even the Jonathan Bender card, who's around the same price. That gives you some instant height. A 7-footer at the small forward position is definitely what I would do. Since you only have 6K, 7K MT, I can't help out that much. I would probably put that Wilt Chamberlain as your starting power forward. Then I would definitely sell the Blake Griffin and whatnot. And then you want to find a cheap center budget card to use. Like I said, man, there's a lot of cheap center budget cards that you could definitely pick up. I would try to save up money to get like a Titans Yao Ming, like I said, the Encore Mark Eaton, Ralph Sampson, or even you could still rock like a Porzingis who's 7'3" at the center position. You could pick up one of those cards. So with that being said, if you do that, your lineup could be Cade Cunningham, Vince Carter, Jonathan Bender, or Pokusevski. You could keep the Wilt Chamberlain just for now because you don't have much MT. And then your center position you could pick. Then you could use that MJ. You have James Worthy, Carmelo, and then you're gonna need to pick up another center as well. But with only 7K MT, bro, you definitely got to snipe a little bit to make some more MT. I recommend just playing the game sniping. You could tell he's relatively new, so you know, that's nothing to hate on, but you know, definitely a lower ranked team. He just needs to snipe and, you know, upgrade your team a little bit. But with that being said, guys, that is gonna wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it and want to see more of these series, man, more from this series, drop a like for your boy. That is a simple way to show it. If you want me to possibly rate one of your teams in the future, join my Discord. Link is in the description. And if you made it to the very end of the video, comment the word banana down below. Yes, banana. So I know that you watched the entire video and you are a real one. Been your boy Tanzer. I'll see you all on my next upload. Peace.